Yo, what's up, everybody? It's another episode here, Relationship Status, with your boy YLD. Here we talk about all things relationships, young relationships in particular, both the good and the bad. And today we got a very special episode. We got another one of our panels, but there's a twist today. As you can tell, the common feature between all of us here is that we're all men. So it's gonna be an all men's panel. You're gonna hear some things from the men. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome to another episode. We are here to have our all men's panel. We're going to be talking about some topics that, are really interesting to hear from the men's perspective, right? Some stuff that, I know most men would be sensitive about. And I think that we need to talk about it. We need to air it out and understand what's the real truth behind a lot of these ideas, concepts, things that are going around in modern dating, modern relationships. We have some celebrities we're going to be talking about today. We got some interesting topics that, maybe a little bit taboo we're going to talk about today. Mm-hmm. It's a lot for us to get through. So without further ado, let's get started. You know how we always start the show on relationship status. What's y'all's relationship status?
What's up, guys? My name is Larry. I'm 24 and I'm single.
Hey, I'm Zaim. I'm 26 and I'm currently single.
Hey guys, I'm Nico. I'm 26 and I'm currently single.
What's up, y'all? My name is Hunter. I'm 24 and I'm currently single.
All right. Without further ado, actually, I forgot to mention, Nico and Hunter are also returning guests. So, thank you guys for coming back on the show. Appreciate y'all. Larry, Zaim, some new customers here, relationship status. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Let's get right into the first topic. What's up?
I just had a conversation with people in the gym about that.
There's different. We came to the conclusion that there's different tiers of celebrities that if they encountered your woman, like it's
fair
over.
game. It's fair game.
Kind of over. Usher being one of them, Drake being another one of them.
Only because the thing is, like, if you talk to a lot of girls too, like at least the ones I've spoken to, they say like Drake's corny and everything else. He's not all that in terms of looks, and then that man got his body done and everything else. But at the same time, because they can provide a lifestyle that you might not be able to, some people might fold. So it really depends on your girl. It really don't depend on the celebrity.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, it's kind of the same fundamentals to like cheating, bro. Like even if it's a regular ass dude off the street, right? Like if your girl's gonna fold, she's gonna fold one way or another. It don't matter who's like clipping her or something. You know what I mean? Like
I think if you're sufficiently confident in that relationship, it shouldn't matter that much.
Right.
If it doesn't even matter if it was Usher, Chris Brown, anybody. They wanted to pick somebody from the crowd, and your girl got chosen. You saying don't go up there?
Like let's say we talk about like Drake, for example, right? At a Drake concert, it's not like he had his whole tour shit, which I went to, was amazing, but like he wasn't going there to like do that. He was going there to perform.
Exactly.
I think like I understand like Chike's point of view of being like, yo, like obviously that's your girl, like if that's your ride or die, and you got like Usher doing that, knowing how Usher is with these women.
I mean, it's literally
you should say no. But like, but I think if it's someone like Drake or someone who's not really known for doing that, he's just like, you see how Drake is like unapologetically. The man is a clown by definition.
Yeah.
So like so if he's like, even if he does this with male guys too, like he gave like a male guy 50 racks or whatever because his girl cheated on him right before the show.
Whoa, I saw that.
So like if Drake like I feel like if it's Drake, obviously like what you said earlier is 100% valid though, because like the lifestyle Drake can provide, I can't do that. But if Drake, I feel like approaches it, it's like a 50-50, you know what I mean? Like it might not be like what you're afraid of, you know what I mean?
So you're saying it's a case-by-case basis?
I low-key think it's case-by-case
Okay,
basis.
but what if we reverse, right? Let's say you're going to a Broadway show, whatever. Ana de Armas is performing. One of my favorite women out there. She pulls you aside. She's like, "Come, let's go dancing, whatever. You can bring your girl." But it's just the two of you dancing. One thing leads to another. What are you doing?
Wait. Let's unpack that.
Let's say this instead of that. Say like who's your favorite female artist?
Or we could do that.
Like favorite female artist.
That's tough.
Favorite female artist.
Okay, so
let's say it's like SZA or something.
Let's just say SZA.
Let's say it's
Glorilla. Meg Thee Stallion. Glorilla.
Glorilla fire, bro. Yo, Glorilla fire. She got good lyrics.
Okay.
Oh wait, you don't mess with that.
No. Glorilla tough. I'm just saying, like, in terms of just physical aspects.
Yeah.
Just physical aspects,
Mariah
right?
the Scientist also fire.
Like,
Stop. Mariah the Scientist.
Remember that one video? Janet Jackson brought a fan on stage.
I totally remember this video.
Tied him up there. Then he was sweating because she would dance on him, touching him, and everything else. But she did not, like, kiss him or whatever else. Cool. Do you think that your girl would be okay with you going up there for whatever female artist to be serenaded?
And would you be tempted?
No.
Would you be tempted though?
But would you want to go up there?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I would never want to do that. I mean, that's just my that's my own personality. You know what I'm saying? I would never. It's just like a personal. I would never.
Yeah.
I just don't, like, genuinely speaking. I'm also married to my girl. That's another thing. I don't know if everybody knows that. I'm married. We're married. And like,
Oh shit!
thank you, bro. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm serious.
It's
I'm serious about this stuff, man.
I do have to say, like, I think there's an aspect of certain relationships, especially the more serious they get, like whether you're in a marriage or in a serious relationship of I don't know 5 to 10 plus years, there is a certain level of, I guess, sometimes a fantasy that is created, like these if moments, right? So you're like the whole idea of a hall pass, the whole idea of like if you, well, not necessarily. It's just like I think you create these fantasies that have like a 0.0001% chance of happening, because it adds a certain level of spiciness to the relationship. I guess maybe in a positive context, maybe in a toxic context, but I feel like that is present in certain relationships. Like you'll have that conversation with your girl, like, hey, like, who's your celebrity crush? Like moments like these, you know, like they're not necessarily gonna happen, but it adds a certain level of like fantasy to the relationship. Like, I know we're comfortable, we're confident in our relationship. I trust you. You're not gonna cheat on me.
Never. So they're ready to have that convo type, like, hypothetically.
Purposefully, because certain dreams or fantasies, like you said, hypothetical questions even have come into play in a lot of different friendly conversations, even just like this one, where it's like, damn, wait, now he's pointing at me. Do I actually get to go up on, because now the hypothetical actually came true?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not saying that I would want my girl to.
What do you think? If you, what about you? What about you? Yeah, if you, because you were saying, oh, I'm gonna take away from the experience. So what do you actually think? Would you actually let her do that? If you really, you know, like someone you locked in with, like your wife.
Would you actually follow through with it, or is it kind of just
That's what I'm saying?
about it?
I feel like in the moment,
your wife with a ring. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, I hear you, but I feel like just saying like devil's advocate. I feel like in the moment, if that does happen, that's a tough thing to just be like.
Exactly.
Because if you're the one, because if you're immediately saying no
in front of everybody,
everyone's gonna.
Well, you shouldn't have to say no, though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, all right.
It'll be on. It'll be on her.
In some cases, yes, but you also, I feel like it's 50-50, because if you're in your right mind, you're gonna be like, hell no, or whatever. Like, that's your girl and everything like that. You're obviously gonna say no because you're not gonna want your girl up there. But then your girl, if you actually, I feel like if there's, especially if you're in those longer stage relationships where you have that strong level of foundation, you, like, your girl might be like, why doesn't he trust me if he's like acting like that so quickly to it? You're right.
No, what every guy really wants is the girl to say no, not the other way around. Right?
Yeah. But
you don't want to have to be the one to say no.
But then you also have girls that look at you like,
Can I go?
Can I go?
Yeah.
So now,
and they'll feel like, okay, if it's like your sign off, because they trust you to make the decision for them, like
that you have to have, or trust that you have to have in your woman as well, to just say, I'm gonna let you have your fun, but understand I'm still here as well.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it does sometimes depend on. That's what I'm saying. Like, it does depend on how, like, you might think about it as with your man, with your girl, because if you react initially and be like, oh hell no, or whatever, it might come off of you not having that confidence, and that might make your girl think twice about your relationship. It can be played both ways, I think, honestly. I think it's a very fine line situation.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Let me just make it completely crazy right now.
Make it completely crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna need a sip for this one.
That's gonna sip.
So in this specific situation, let's say your girl goes up there, is more than the physical aspect, right? I know we hold true to these conditions where we're like, yes, like, if you're in a relationship, I'm the only one you can kiss, I'm the only one you can have sex with, whatever, right?
Right.
But there are certain relationships where, like, you're confident enough in your girl to realize that she loves you and she's here for you. That stuff is secondary.
So what you're saying is, there's a level of love that you can get. Okay.
I'm not saying I
No,
believe it.
No.
I'm just
Nobody-
saying it's
No,
reality.
we looked at a long time. We're like, oh no.
I think I get the point. You're getting
Yeah.
I don't necessarily
Nah.
believe it, but I'm just
It was a
saying.
very me personally. Hell,
Yeah,
no.
me-
But I get you. I
But
get
there's
you.
people that exist where like
Yeah.
people.
Well, that's
how they
open
feel.
relationships. I mean, that's an
No,
open.
it's
Which-
basically
not-
Yo, it's like an Adam 22 situation.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we was gonna get that to that next. That's
Yo.
actually the next topic. So
Yo.
let's not
Yo,
even
that's
jump.
gonna be
Let's
crazy,
not jump.
bro.
That's the next topic.
That's
I-
a hell no.
I have
bro.
interviews I want us to watch together. I want us to be able to look at.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
stuff to get through, bro. So,
Okay.
but no. So
That
what?
topic
What?
don't even need to be brought up, bro.
No, it needs to. It needs because I feel like all these things are all interconnected,
I think the
bro.
biggest thing about that situation for me is the publicness of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like
True.
if this was happening, yeah.
No, you continue on.
If this was happening in like a not public situation, then it's really up to what like you guys as a relationship choose to do.
Yeah.
As long as no one's feelings are over the top hurt, I don't have an issue with it. But like I find it hard to believe that someone would really not care if it's like public to that level.
Fair.
I had two different things. I had one experience of my own, but then I wanted to also go back to the Keke Palmer thing. How much social media factors into a lot of things in general, whether it's relationships, topic, political things, etc., etc. So my whole thing was,
Oh boy.
so no. She wasn't my girl, but at the same time, it was one of my coworkers, and we was really good friends and everything else.
Yeah.
She beautiful too. And we went to, she's a big Chris Brown fan.
Mhm.
And we went to the Chris Brown Lil Baby concert, one of their tours. Amazing, on both sides. And she was like, because Chris Brown has been inviting people up on stage and everything else. I was like, listen, if Chris Brown invites you up on stage, I don't know you. You gotta understand. And I only say that because it's like, yo, if they pan the camera,
I'm not
on us
going
so
through that.
they gonna be like, yo, Chris Brown took your girl. Even if she's not my girl, you feel me?
It's gonna be a
Me
wrap.
just say, I already know the type of person she is. She gonna look at me like, yo, Chris.
Can I go?
I'm gonna look at her. Then I'm gonna look at my face in the camera like, yo.
Oh, sorry, bro.
He said, "Fuck, I'm caught."
You feel me? So there's so many fear aspects to this. It's not just your girl doing whatever with whomever.
Yeah.
The image
Public
of
embarrassment.
what you look like when it happens.
Exactly.
That's why I said earlier, because in the moment, you might, as a man, you might be thinking about the whole view of it, because so many eyes are going to be on you.
Oh,
the
that's
second
right.
that
Right,
happens.
right.
How much would you actually care if nobody would ever know or talk about it afterward?
I would care because it's a principle thing.
Okay, I would still care, but I probably wouldn't get as dramatic about it.
Because because you know how social media plays things. That shit will go viral.
It's embarrassing for you, and that's kind of the fundamental part of
Yeah.
it.
Like you don't replay the.
No one wants to go
image in
through
your mind.
that.
Yeah.
Everyone just.
But you're saying if us was in a private room,
React to that word.
No, she just started laughing. I mean, like, between me and her, it was like all jokes and stuff like that. That's what it can be, feel me? But at the same time,
It'd be separate, but what if you did a panel with different generations and talk about how
Whoa.
different dating before social media, dating after social
Whoa,
media?
I like that. Actually, I'm gonna write that
We're
down.
gonna talk
right
with some
now.
parents on this.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna bring some parents on the vibes,
Oh,
bro.
boy.
I kind
Oh,
of exactly
boy.
do that with.
and you know what the worst part about that shit too is because a lot of men are taught to internalize a lot of their emotions.
Yes.
Yo, now you have the car ride home, train ride home, but whatever, Uber ride. Say, hey, honey, you good this time? Yeah, I'm fine. Knowing
Good.
damn well you want to explode, you want to blow up or whatever.
Because if you do, you're gonna be looked at as the worst part of it.
Oh,
Oh,
rather
you're
than you voicing
controlling.
your
Oh,
shit.
you're general. Like, oh, you're being too traditional.
You know what's crazy?
What?
This might get me canceled too, but I think one of the reasons why men internalize so much and women judge them for internalizing so many things is because we know that women will judge us for actually expressing ourselves.
Oh, what?
Hey, all right. So somebody gets the dapped up. All right, now I'm gonna give you one too. Yes, sir.
Word.
Yeah. Hey, no, that was fine. That was facts.
Definitely.
Don't you have a poem you would like to share with us today? This is just an interlude. This is relationship status interlude. We're gonna play some nice chill background music and have Nico express some words of love that he personally, does in his free time. He actually is an artist. He's a poet. You should check out his page. We'll put it below right here. All right. And we'll leave the links in the description. Nico, take it away, man.
Appreciate it.
Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about why you're doing this? What's the reason, so people can relate with what you're about to say?
Yeah. So I feel like I work in a corporate environment. I work in finance, and I think unfortunately a lot of my day to day is not very inspired. And there's not a lot of creativity that goes into it. It's a lot about punching numbers, working on Excel. So I write poetry as kind of a form of therapy to kind of like release that side of me, and then also kind of articulate some feelings that I've kind of bottled up. Or it also comes from like if I hear a song, I watch a movie, or hear something that inspires me, and I kind of want to talk about it and kind of explain it in a way that's that can have people react to it and kind of experience their own mindset or whatever from that. So
And their own interpretation. Right.
Exactly.
So would you say, I'm just curious,
Yeah.
I've heard of this word, an empath. I don't really know what that means. Anyone know what that means? An empath? Is that
Someone who's in touch with their emotions.
yeah.
right? Would you would you say that you are? I feel like in the years I've known you, you're definitely one of the persons who's a little bit more emotionally in tune with yourself and know how to express it in a healthy manner.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case and something that I've worked on my whole life. So yeah.
Nico, you said you were single, right?
Right? How did your heart mend so easy? Mine still bleeds. The memories we made were just a crescendo to estranged. Isn't that strange? Had you told me this was a reality, should I have stoppered your approach, corking it before our contents could be spilled? How did your heart mend so easy? Mine still bleeds. Had I known, had you uttered these very words, had I seen the pearlescent incarnadine droplets pollute the memories we shared, would I have stayed? Should I have stayed? I answer freely in the form of an epitaph of our once shared reality. Had I stayed, only your ego would have gained. Instead of a scar, there would only be decay. Be it as it may, I have only this to say. How did your heart break so easy? Mine is free.
Wait, what? Okay, I don't even. I want like somebody.
That was hard.
What was your interpretation to that? Because I don't even want him to bias what that was supposed to mean. Does anybody have like? I have my own interpretation of that, but I want somebody else to speak first. I don't want to bias anybody else too. I'm just curious. What do people get from that? Like even if it's just one thing, you don't have to talk about the whole thing. There's one thing you got from that. What was it?
I think it was a beautifully honest representation of something we've all probably felt at some point in our lives.
Which is what?
Some sort of heartbreak at the end of a relationship.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, seemingly like after the initial feelings with a more honest approach.
Yeah. It's like you kind of mentally think, oh, because you're both so much in like a committed situation or relationship that you both should be like moving at the same pace. But like it's like a discourse because like one person is like moving on, switching on, getting on to different things so fast, and the other person is really like grieving it. So it's like it's like secondarily making yourself question like the true value of like other person's feelings because of how fast they move on.
Wow. Larry, you got anything from that?
I think I pretty much take from what he's.
No, yeah. I think that's really good
pretty much
synopsis.
summarize it.
I think if I was going to say anything else on top of it, I thought it was interesting how that just followed what you said about men needing to voice their emotions. Because I feel like the dichotomy between you and the other person that you're talking about is that you seemed a little bit more open and a little bit more, like from the perspective of the writer, it seemed like you were perpetuating that you actually vocalized and spoke and were open about how you felt and were addressing it, right? And that is what allowed your heart to be free versus the other person. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned something about scars and tissues and the pain of like actual damage from the relationship. And if you don't deal with that, if you don't treat it, right, that's what leads to you dealing with heartbreak for a sustained period amount of time. What helps you to move on from it is talking about it, healing yourself, right? That's what I took from that. It was very, very well poetically written. And if you're not like an intellect, like you won't probably take that away from it. It just sounds like a bunch of diction. But that was like very, very well put together.
Instead of your mind don't work. Don't
Yeah,
go
hey,
fly over
you
your
did it
head.
the first time. Sorry. Hey.
He said that shit went over your head.
No, it went over the top. Went over most people's top. That was really, really poetic, man. What was your inspiration to writing it, and what was your purpose of writing? What's the meaning behind it?
So I'm gonna be. This is kind of makes it funny and maybe a little shallow, but the Kid Leroy just dropped a new song called Bleed, and that inspired me to write this poem. Not necessarily from like the way that he presented his song, but just he had that opening line that says, "How did your heart mend so easy? Mine still bleeds." And I heard that, and like I don't know. I feel like it's very powerful because, like everybody mentioned, it's all about the idea that people move differently and they approach breakup differently. But I think the one thing that, especially towards the end, that I wanted to articulate is the fact that a lot of people try to stay in relationships because they don't want to experience the pain that comes from leaving.
Wow.
And that's why in that stanza I talk about how like instead of a scar that forms, I mean that's what forms hopefully from an experience that you're able to extricate yourself from. But if you stay in a relationship, it's no longer scar, it's decay. Like it's death. Like whether that's your death, your ego death, her ego death, whatever. I think it's a better situation to have scarring from something than to have decay from something.
Because the scar shows that you've been healed.
Yeah.
But it's just a representation of what you've been through.
And it forces you to remember. And I think that's important too.
Wow.
That was so exciting.
That was
This is deep as fuck.
You're a
Saturday
poet.
morning.
Nah, dude, that was goated. That's good. All right, next topic. Let's get shallow, because we just got really deep. Let's get back to surface. Let's get shallow.
Turn to the surface.
That was way too deep, bro. Damn. We'll talk about Adam 22. The Adam 22 situation. Well, I actually feel like we're all kind of on the same page. I feel like does anybody have any controversial opinion about this thing? Because I mean, it's okay. So just to give background, Adam 22, he has this podcast. I actually forget what it's called. Anybody know what it's called?
No.
He has a podcast, very popular in pop culture today.
No Jumper?
No Jumper, right? Yeah, he has a lot of artists on there, etc. He's a famous guy. And his wife is a porn star. And for about, I think, a decade or so, I can't remember. The amount of years, I'm not sure, but he had only been shooting movies with her. But eventually for her, it's either her birthday gift or like their wedding gift. I think they just got married, and it was like her wedding gift was like another man who's a very popular porn star artist, and they essentially slept together. And he watched the film, and he's totally supporting it. And she's actually now about to do an orgy with like 5 other guys. So
I didn't know this part.
And
In the world we live in.
so, you know, so I guess the reason why I asked this is I really want to know.
Is that the controversy, or is
Well, really,
our opinions on it.
well, okay. So, I mean, to explain it even further, the internet blew up after it, right? And like everybody's like talking about how I cannot believe this man would
Called
do
him a
this.
simp.
Yeah, called him simp. Was like, I can't believe you do that. I can't believe you let your wife get. I mean, essentially, ran up by like some really by some guys that's not you. And he came out after and was like, he had all 3 of them. He had his wife and the guy like on an interview. And even the wife was like, she was like, this is uncomfortable for me. Yeah, I mean, like, and he was like, he said it himself. Like the porn star guy was like, I personally couldn't like have done this with my own spouse, but everybody's different. So I mean, if you let me do this with your guy, I mean, it is what it is, right? And so he's defending himself.
I don't get, like, he's also.
Well, he's a porn star, and he's
probably not married though.
He's not
Oh, he's not married.
Right? Yeah, I mean, he's a porn star. He's sleeping with multiple women every day. So it's like.
But also, Adam shoots scenes with other women. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he does.
Thing.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And sometimes he includes his wife, but sometimes he doesn't.
Exactly.
Adam 22 is a porn star?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I just.
I don't know.
it's not the only thing he does, but he also
shot films with other women?
Yeah, 100%.
My friend, I had one single friend that was deeply invested in that entire story. He was like, "Yo, Adam sleeps with other." I think when he sleeps with other women, his wife was included. That's the thing. So it was never just a one-on-one with another woman. It was always at least a threesome because his wife was always there.
Wow.
From what my friend is, I could be wrong.
Wow.
But at the same time, after I heard how everything was going down, even from before the marriage, again, I wasn't invested. I don't really care about celebrities that much, but one of my friends was invested. Everything just seemed performative because it was just like,
right.
You're marrying this porn star, and even I think something about the wedding was mad weird too. and now you're, having sex with her, with other women, this, that, and the third. Now you're giving up your wife to say, hey, you're allowed to fuck one other, have sex with one other person.
Yeah.
Everything just seems very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
So,
well, the conspiracy is that he's allowing this to happen. This is just a conspiracy. This is not true. I don't know if it's true or not.
No, I was gonna say like this isn't like a controversial opinion, but like it kind of reminded me of the whole like Ray J Kim K type thing.
Okay.
Because like she literally blew up off of that. You know what I mean? Like her whole
she's a billionaire
her whole
because
platform of like what later became like the multiple companies and industries and things she does now. It stemmed from that. And I feel like maybe the reason why Adam 22 is like so supportive of this was because like what he mentioned, it wasn't like this is just by chance thing. It was a staged thing where he was like, all right, listen, like we're gonna do this. And we're just gonna capitalize off of the exploitation that it's gonna bring.
Well, he knew the internet was gonna.
Well, that's the thing. One, I think first to preface, like if they're happy, I don't really think it should be a controversy in the slightest. But two, if you're making that much money off something, like I think that's generally the primary motivator.
I think
they know they are. They're not idiots, right? Like I don't know anything about this, but like he 100% knows what's gonna happen.
It could make you even think like the whole like arguments and beef or whatever that were said after could have been faked too, because like it's just spicing it up for views.
You're still making tons more money.
But I will say,
and people will forget about it in a year. Like people will forget about it.
If they immortalize it, that's even better. Because like the more they immortalize that image, like the more money that comes into play in the future.
What other people are commentating on, right? Like,
there is one, I think, concrete thing that comes out of this, and I mean it's just one aspect of it, and obviously there's many ways of thinking about this, but and I've seen this personally. There's a huge double standard that exists between women who have sex with other men and then men who have sex with other women within that relationship. I have a good friend, I'm not going to say his name obviously because I don't want to put him on blast, but he was in a relationship for a while with this girl, and he couldn't in his mind work out how like he would cheat on her with other women, and once she started doing the same because it became a toxic relationship, he was pissed at her. And I remember having conversations with him all the time, and I'd be like, that's hypocrisy. How can you be mad at her for engaging in sexual activity with other men when you're doing the same with other women?
Absolutely.
How can you expect her to stay away from that when you're not staying away from that? That's a double standard.
That's easy.
Yeah, 100%.
I 50% think it's an ego thing, and the other 50%, there was a lot of talk over social media. Also, I hope y'all don't think that I just be on social media all day.
I
just be saying things, and then I just remember.
It's all right, bro. We got him referencing the Boondocks. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good.
He's straight.
Yeah,
Viable, credible source, by the way.
Oh my
but I just gotta say, floor is yours, King.
That's so funny.
R.I.P. John Witherspoon. But
Wait. We're actually though.
No, for real.
Right, actually.